Hi, I'm Captain Grant Coppin with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report.
Alright guys, this week we've really been catching some good fish in the surf. You know, the winds have been light and the surf is wide open all the way down here past Bob Hole Pier. Throwing croaker for the trout, catching redfish on live shrimp, lots of Spanish, bluefish. We saw one tarpon roll out here. There's some birds working up and down the beachfront. You know, you can just travel up and down the beach right now and throw those baits up there as tight as you can to the shore. What I recommend is make sure those baits are hitting in the frothy water on the back side of the third bar where the break is. Make sure your baits are hitting right there, and that's where you're going to get a fish almost every single cast. Over here in the ICW on the west drop off, been catching some good trout. Remember, they got to be 15 inches over here, or 17 inches over here just south of the bridge. But there's some good trout. There's redfish. We've been catching flounder on the edge, throwing live shrimp, mud minnows, live finger mullet, live perch. Just kind of working where you see the big sand pockets from the barge traffic. Those are just big barge scars up on the edge, and it's where those little holes are created all the way down to Pure Oil Channel. Been catching good fish. If you're going to fish on the weekend, you kind of got to pick your spots and just have some patience because they'll come through just like they do in the land cut. Get in here, fish the little cuts and little divots in the grass. Catch one or two fish, three fish. If you feel like moving, go ahead and move on down a little bit. Use your trolling motor, and that'll give you some more options. Over here on the King Ranch shoreline, we've been finding some good reds. I've been hitting them early. Get up there as tight as you can. Make sure your baits are hitting in the sand, and throw cut skipjack, mullet, menhaden, anything that's good and oily. Get up here tight. I know some of the guys are still throwing those sardines, but as bad as the perch are, I recommend going with a firmer bait like mullet, or even a very fresh skipjack. Even though they do turn soft over time, it's more firm than the frozen bait and works a lot better. So come in here, find the pockets of sand tight to the shore. That's where you're going to find most of your redfish. Over here in the boat hole, been seeing a big school of redfish over here. They're a little inconsistent, but they're in here. They've been moving around. Sometimes they're way back here in the back. Sometimes they're up here closer to the high lines. But just be courteous to the other fishermen. Come in here, put the trolling motor down, and try not to just run into them, because that's what I saw this weekend. And it kind of turned my stomach a little bit, so I got out of here. There's plenty of redfish in this school for everyone to have fun catching fish. Just put the trolling motor down. Start about right here by this island as you see the other boats approaching the school. Upwind of the redfish. Take turns, and everybody will have a chance to hook up. Just take your time. Don't push the fish too hard, because if you push them too hard, they go down to the bottom, and then nobody can find them unless you've got that side scan or down imaging, which I do have. But, you know, the bite turns off. When they're all on the surface, the second the bait hits the water, and it doesn't matter what you throw. Typically, we throw just gold spoons, 3/4 ounce gold spoons, because that's the easiest direct bait to throw into a school of redfish. But you can pretty much throw anything when they're on the surface. Baffin Bay's been looking really pretty, sometimes too pretty. But over here on the back side of the Badlands, we've been catching some reds, fishing the sand pockets in here. It's been doing pretty good. Just get some of these outer ones where it's in between rocks. You see some of these big pockets. Throw some cut bait in there and just be patient. You know, the first suspects on the scene are hardheads and perch, and don't let that discourage you, because right behind them are the redfish. And once you start getting the redfish coming through those sand pockets It's redfish after redfish, and you've got to hook up every 5 to 10 minutes. So come in here, throw your cut bait, sit back, relax, have a cold one, and enjoy some good redfish action. Over here on Pentecost Point, been finding a few good fish. Nothing real hot and heavy, but every time I go over here, I can pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 fish, drift across the point, popping corks and live shrimp, pick up some drum, a trout or two, a couple of redfish. If it gets too slow in there, I'll kind of just move down the shoreline and work this drop off. With the tide being as low as it has been, most of the fish are right here where the 1 foot of water meets that 2 to 3 foot, and you can just work down with the trolling motor, either throwing plastics along the edge or just throwing a live shrimp, and catch a good mixed box of fish.
I'm Captain Grant Coppin. Thanks for watching.